103.5 FM at DSN.
Listen to news updates on Apapa 103.5 FM immediately after Angelus 6 o'clock a.m. Angelus.
Mama Kosedu Abaptal Maria. Oretri Mesani Kenke Monso. Ekene Maria Jitel na Grace Osebru Ananyeli. Edengos next Boronine. Oja Singos Kuma Forgive Jesu. Maria Jason Nenke Chubu. Rebala Ninja Ero. Kita Namalo Amen. Neju Odibowani Kosebruwa. Kore Kisiku. Ekene Maria Jitel na Grace. Idingos next Boronine, Ojazingos Puma forgive Jesu. Maria Jason, Nenke Chubu, Yabayo, Kita Amen. Okwe Melaro, Nekene Maria, Egypt na Gracia, Osebru Anonyeli, Idingos next Boronine, Ojazingos Puma forgive Jesu. Maria Jason, Nenke Chubu, Yabayo, Kita Namano Amen. Yabalanya yo onne nke Chukwuja so. Ayo. Aina yogi Chukwu kirinye glasa ilimobi ayi. Karibundi anja butelu sema. Wemali wela ro Kristi mwaye. Sina afia nubia. Webatano stona mbite na hoya. Stena Kristi timenayi. Amen. Children na mwana monso. Otitodere na mwana monso. Otitodere na mwana monso. Kabulo bindini nekwere no galaga. Kabulo bifazilike na ndokwa. Amen.
Onye nwe anyị nọnyere ụnụ ka Chineke ji ike niile gọzie ụnụ nna na nwa na mmụọ nsọ.
Amen.
Guys, like, subscribe, and share, right?
Thank you. Foods and Beverages Limited, Nnodi. Ndị na-alụpụta Love Bite Bread nọ na nọmba 1 Wozu Maduka Close, Muru Road, 081 49 82 82 54. Listen to news updates on Apapa 103.5 FM immediately after English 6 o'clock a.m. and the 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. Apapa FM breaks the news with actuality.
I believe that people are hoping for a new Nigeria.
You can as well listen online via mixlr.com/gistfm.
Good evening and welcome to about the 103.5 FM news update. Today, Friday, the second day of June 2023, and the time is 4 minutes past the hour of 6. Martin Ifan Chukwueze is my name. The headlines. Anambra Commissioner denies responsibility for insecurity. Enugu Governor bans IPOB sit at home, urges Tinubu to free Kanu. Uti dissolves local government transition committee in Abia. Ebonyi NUJ congratulate Mwifuru, tax governor on developing state. Soludo government to issue EID cards to Anambra civil servants. Deadly protests rock Senegal as court sentences opposition's Sonko to jail. Now, details. Anambra Commissioner denies responsibility for insecurity. The Anambra State Commissioner for Homeland Security, Chikodere Anara, has denied allegation leveled against him by the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB that he is using operatives of Anambra Vigilante Service to cause insecurity in the state. IPOB had, through a statement signed by its spokesperson, Emma Powerful, leveled numerous allegations against Anara, but briefing journalists in Oka, the commissioner revealed that IPOB and Powerful were on a blackmail mission after several attempts to extort money from him. The commissioner also named two of his kingsmen names withheld as those sponsoring Powerful against him after he wrote a petition against them over a murder charge, for which they were arrested and detained before they allegedly bribed their way out and fled the country. The commissioner said in 2022, a man Powerful called me and told me he had a story against me. He demanded that I paid him money to drop the publication. He later called again and told me the same story, which I ignored. He has been out to blackmail me and has been calling me since then. I have told him that I will never pay him. Today, his friends and two of his brothers who are involved in the monarch case here in Isu and Osha, Oka North Council, are sponsoring him to write against me. I'm not surprised about the write-up. The truth is that Powerful is doing a paid job. I have severally invited him if he is genuine, if he thinks he can help solve the problem of insecurity we are facing in the state, to come for a meeting. I need to inform Powerful that the Anambra Vigilante Group, AVG, has existed for many years before I came into office and was not created because of IPOB, which is a new and recent creation, she cordially stated. Enugu governor bans IPOB sit at home, urges Tinubu to free Kanu. Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State has appealed to President Bola Tinubu to release the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, for healing of the country. Mba made the appeal on Thursday while listing out the decision reached at the end of his first Security Council meeting with the heads of all the security agencies at the government house in Enugu. He said, I call on our newly sworn-in President Bola Tinubu to consciously work towards the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. We believe that his release, will expedite the healing process Nigeria needs at this time. It will also be a pointer to his administration's extension of brotherly hands of fellowship to Ndibo. The governor declared the Monday sit-at-home by IPOB to press for Kanu's release as antithetical to the economic interests of the state, saying it should stop from June 6th. Mba, however, expressed his government's readiness to engage in dialogue with people who have genuine grievances towards bringing lasting peace and security to Enugu State. At the meeting, which also had in attendance the Deputy Governor, Mr. Ifeanyi Osai, the governor said he had hit the ground running on the day of his inauguration by signing 3 executive orders for the good governance of the state, including Executive Order 002 for the removal of unauthorized street barriers across the state within 100 days. He said, there is no time to waste. The clock has started ticking on the mandate you gave me and the deliverables I promised. The idea behind sit at home on Monday, the first working and business day of the week, is abominable and antithetical to greatness and the spirit of industry we profess to have inherited from our forebears. This cannot be. It does colossal damage to us. Mba reminded the people of the direct connection between his lofty promises he made to them and the vibrance of commerce in the state. He added, for us to transit from a public service economy to a private sector driven one, we must free our markets from the shackles of restriction to commerce. If indeed we aspire and anticipate an influx of private sector practitioners and investors in Enugu State, we must know that this will not happen where the perception of us is that of unproductive people. OT dissolves local government transition committees in Abia. Governor-elect OT has dissolved the local government transition committees, has approved the dissolution of 17 local government transition committees and removal of all chairmen and their deputies. A Thursday statement by his media aide, Ferdinand Ekoma, read, the removed chairmen are to hand over to the head of services of their respective local governments. In a similar development, Governor Oti approved the removal of education secretaries of the 17 local governments. Each affected education secretary is to hand over to the most senior director, the statement added. These directives take immediate effect. Therefore, the affected persons should comply and ensure seamless transfer of power in the local government areas, Ekoma stated. Ebonyi NUJ congratulates Nwifuru, tax governor on developing states. Nigerian Union of Journalists (NUJ) Ebonyi State Council yesterday congratulated Governor Francis Nwifuru on his successful inauguration as the fourth executive governor of the state. The union further tasked the governor on steering ship of the state towards a thriving direction. In a congratulatory message signed by the state chairman of the union, Tony Mwizi, and the secretary, Nnamdi Apapa, in Abakaliki, the union thanked the governor for appointing one of his members, Dr. Monde Uzo, as chief press secretary. They described Uzo's appointment as a statement of intent by the governor to engage best hands in his administration, noting that the union, as partner in progress, will work with him to achieve his plan for the state. The message reads, Your Excellency, sir, the NUJ in Ebonyi State, having followed events leading to your election, is convinced that you have what it takes to steer the ship of the state in right direction. We are particularly grateful for the appointing one of our own, Monde Uzo, as your chief press secretary. We view this as a statement of your intent to engage best hands in your administration. The statement reads. Soludo government to issue EID cards to Anambra civil servants. Governor Charles Soludo's government says plans are underway to unveil an electronic identity card EID for civil servants and other government employees in Anambra. Chukwuemeka Abata, the managing director of the Anambra State ICT Agency, in a statement on Thursday, said the innovation was in line with Mr. Soludo's determination to digitize the state and its workforce. The unveiling will be a historic event and a testament to the visionary leadership of Governor Soludo in accordance with his mantra of everything technology and technology everywhere, the Anambra government said in the statement. He added, the EID card will strengthen identity management in the state by enabling government to identify government employees. The Anambra State government also mentioned it would also successfully address the current issue of the state's lack of standardized and secure method of issuing and confirming ID cards and their holders. Now we move over to the foreign scene. Deadly protest rocks Senegal as court sentences opposition's Sonko to jail. 9 people have been killed in Senegal in clashes between riot police and supporters of opposition leader Ousmane Sonko after a court sentenced him to 2 years in jail, casting serious doubts on his chances of running for president next year. The deaths occurred after protests broke out in parts of capital Dakar and other cities. Interior Minister Antonin Felix Abdoulaye Diome said on state television in the early hours of Friday, we have noted with great regret violence that has led to the destruction of public and private property and unfortunately 9 deaths in Dakar and Zinko. Diome said. Government spokesperson Abdul Karim Fofana said security forces had the situation under control in the capital. Several social media and messaging platforms were restricted in Senegal late on Thursday, a move likely to significantly impact the public's ability to communicate, the NetBlocks Internet Observatory said. Sonko, President Macky Sall's first opponent, was absent when the judgment was handed down on Thursday. He also did not attend the trial. He was presumed to be at his Dakar home, where he had been blocked in by security forces after being detained at the weekend. But after 2 years of a confrontation with the authorities that has kept the country on tenterhooks, he could now be arrested at any time, Justice Minister Ismaila Madio Fall told journalists. This is where we draw the curtain on news updates on Airborne at the 103.5 FM. But before we leave, a quick look at the headlines. Anambra Commissioner denies the responsibility for insecurity. Enugu Governor bans IPOB sit at home, urges Tinubu to free Kano. Oti dissolves local government transition committees in Abia. Ebonyi NUJ congratulates Nwifuru, tax governor on developing state. Soludo government to issue EID cards to Anambra civil servants. Deadly protests rock Senegal as court sentences opposition's Sonko to jail. You just listened to news update on Ebonadi 103.5 FM. News produced and read by Martin Ifeanyichukwu. You just listened to news update on Ebona the 103.5 FM. News produced and read by Martin Ifeanyichukwu Ekezie. Thank you for listening to Ebona the 103.5 FM news update.
Listen to news updates on Ebona the 103.5 FM immediately after Angeles 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays